Hello everyone, this is Manish Deswal. Today we are going to discuss the solution of our quiz of day 3. So there were 4 questions provided and those all were MCQ questions. So today we are going to discuss the solution in detail form and like I'll also give you some tips so that you can solve it in like less time uh, without any like rough works or less rough works. So these were the questions you can see here on the screen. So I'll discuss each of these questions one by one, and also I'll give you some tricks to solve these questions. Okay, so let's proceed. Moving ahead with question number 1. So our question number 1 was like this: if a equal to if a cos a equal to b cos b, then triangle ABC is, and the options are isosceles only, right angled only, equilateral, and option D is a right angle isosceles. So before solving these questions, let me recall that here A cos A equal to B cos B. These relations, these types of relations mainly comes in what? These uh, these are somehow related with circumcircle, circumradius, or like even in case of this uh, inscribed circle we will have na. So in that case we'll have in radius, in circle. So in this case we'll be using the circumcircle circle or circumradius relationship. So before that I would like to just show the relationship and let you recall the concepts and what are these notations stands for. So for example, if ABC is our circle, you can see here in this figure, I mean ABC is a triangle, then a circle which passes through all of these vertices is the circumcircle, right? So here the circumcircle is given by the red lines. The red circle is the circumcircle of the triangle ABC, and the center is denoted by O. So OA is the radius of this circumcircle, and it is denoted by R. So we have R here as the circumradius, and O is the circumcenter. O is known as circumcenter of this circle or like triangle. Uh, so and all of the sides are denoted as by usual notations. So it's like BC will be denoted by A, AC will be denoted by B, and AB will be denoted by C. So it's fine. So there is a relation you must be like uh, able to recall, that R equal to a product of each length of the each of the sides A, B, C by 4 times the area of the this triangle. So here delta here denotes the area of this triangle ABC. So you must be able to recall that delta here denotes the area of triangle ABC. So area of triangle ABC, and it will be like calculated by formula S minus A, S minus B, S minus C. So and where S is what? S is semi-perimeter. Semi-perimeter. Semi-perimeter of triangle ABC. Okay. So here delta is the area of the triangle ABC. So we have the relations R is equal to A times B times C by 4 delta, and also equal to, which is also equal to A by 2 sine A, B by 2 sine B, C by 2 sine C. So from here only we will proceed. So from this and this, what we can see, A is equal to 2 times R times sine A. So that we have written here. Fine. Again, from this and this, what we'll have, B is equal to, when we transpose this two sine B terms on the left, so what we'll get, B equal to 2 times r times sine b. So b equal to 2 times r times sine b we have. Fine. This is a very simple concept. This relation you must be knowing already. From there only I have like just by transposing some of the terms from this denominator, I have got the value of a and value of b. Fine. So let's move ahead. So now from the questions we have, in the questions what we have, a cos a equal to b cos b. Then the triangle ABC is. So from here we will try to substitute the value of a and b, and then we'll see that what this triangle represents, whether which one of the option among four is correct. So given a statement was this, right? A cos a equal to b cos b. So when you substitute the value of a as 2a sine a, we have this one times cos a, right? So again substituting the value of b, we have 2r sine b as the value of b, and then cos b. So here I have written the region, but these all raw works I mean these all formalities you need not do in entrance exam. In entrance exam, what you do is just try to solve more of the things in mind itself, and these all formalities I have written for your understanding, right? So or even in board exams, in theoretical exams, we write there to make like good understanding that we have done it properly, or whichever formula we are using or whichever concept you are using, so that should be like mentioned to make it clear to the teacher that yeah, you have understood well. But in entrance exam, no one is going to look at your top sheet. So for your like easiness, uh, just use it in optimal way. Don't write much. Of course, while practicing at home, you can write as much as you can, but yeah, when you practice more and more, try to just do the calculations in mind itself. So in when I will do in entrance exam, I will not write this step. This step I need not write, right? This is given in the question itself. Now mm, I will write this step. I will write this step. So I will write this step, right? This green underlined line. I'll write this step. When I'll cancel these two r, I mean r we can cancel both side, na? So r cancelled. So directly then after we can see that 2 sine a cos a is what? Sine 2a. Again 2 sine b cos b is what? 2 sine 2b, right? Sine 2b. 2 sine a cos a is sine 2a. 2 sine b cos b is sine 2b. So this is we can written, right? Also we know that sine theta is also equal to sine pi minus theta, right? You know well, sine theta is also equal to sine pi minus theta. So this sine 2b can be written as what? Sine pi minus 2b. Fine. So from these two, what we can get? We can get that 2a is equal to what? 2b. Angle 2 times of angle A is equal to 2 times of angle B. So when you cancel 2 and 2 on both sides, what will get? Angle A is equal to angle B. So if two angles of a triangle are equal, what is that triangle called? It's isosceles triangle, right? So when two angles of a triangle are equal, we call it isosceles triangle. And again from this next relationship, what we can see is from these two, what we can see, sine 2a is equal to sine pi minus 2b. So we get that 2 times of angle A is equal to pi minus 2 times of pi angle B. So when you just divide both sides by 2, we get A is equal to pi by 2 minus B, right? So pi by 2 is also known as what? 90-degree angle. And when you transpose this B to B on the left side, we will have what? A plus B is equal to pi by 2, that is 90-degree. So if in a triangle sum of two angles are 90-degree, then what will be the third angle? If sum of two angles of a triangle are 90-degree, then what will be the value of third angle? Can you guess? Of course, the value of the third angle will be what? The value of the third angle will be 90-degree, right? The value of the third angle will be 90-degree. So if So our angle C is 90 degree, right? So if C is 90 degree, then we can have some scenario like this. This is angle C. We have right angled at C, A, B, right? So when C is 90 degree, the triangle will be what? Right angle triangle. So from the options, you can see that uh, we were having C from the solution. So what we can see is we have when A is equal to B, angle A is equal to B, we'll have isosceles triangle case. And when this 2A is equal to pi minus 2B, that is A plus B is equal to 90 degree, then what we'll have? We'll have right angle triangle case. So you can see in options that in option you can see that isosceles option A is isosceles only. But you saw from the solution that we are also getting the case for this right angle. So this option will be what? Rejected, right? Again, right angle only. But also we saw that we have isosceles case one also. So this also option is also rejected. And we saw that one of the angle is 90 degree. So of course, when one of the angle is 90 degree, it cannot be equilateral, because what? In the case of equilateral, we should have all the angles 60 degree. That is, all the sides should be equal. But in this case, only two angles are equal, and the third angle was 90 degree. So this cannot be equilateral triangle. And we also saw that we are getting the isosceles case also and right angle case also. So option D is correct. Fine. So you can just proceed in this way, and you need not these all explanations I have just done it for your understanding. You should be able to do these questions in one minute in entrance exam. In entrance exam, you don't need to write all these formalities. Just start from this 2r sine A times cos A is equal to 2r sine B times cos B, and then proceed, and then just you can do in 1 minute. Okay, I hope it should be clear to everyone. If you, in case you have any doubt, you can just comment there in the comment section. We will reply you. We'll try to resolve, and if there are any mistakes in the calculations, let us know. We will try to resolve it and fix it. Okay, so now let's move ahead to question number 2. So our question number 2 for today is the focus of the parabola x square minus 8x plus 2y plus 7 equal to 0 is. So we have the four options: 0, minus 1 by 2, 4, 9 by 2, 4, 4, and option D is minus 4, minus 9 by 2. So before like solving this, let's recall equation of parabola with vertex at hk and axis parallel to y axis is what? X minus h square equal to 4a times y minus k, where h and k are the vertex of the parabola. Where h and k are what? H and k are the vertex of the parabola, and 4a denotes the what? Length of our lattice rectum. So here in the figure, L dash represents our lattice rectum, and its length is 4a, 4 times a, right? And we have vertex at hk, and this a point F denotes what? Focus of this parabola. So focus is how a distance a from this vertex, right? And this is our this thing, lattice rectum. And we have again directrix also. Directrix we have just on the opposite side. So maybe let's suppose here will be our directrix, right? So directrix, this is the directrix line which will be, and this will pass through what? This will pass through, directrix will cross our axis of this parabola at what? H comma k minus a, h comma k minus a. So directrix will pass through this, or like our axis of this parabola, and directrix will caught at h comma k minus 1 a, k minus a, and focus of this parabola is h comma k plus a, right? So you can just see from this figure, even if you just forget the formula, you can calculate. And based on the orientation, like sometimes it is like our axis is parallel to x-axis, sometimes axis is parallel to y-axis. So in this case, axis is parallel to y-axis, you can see. Or even you can substitute, you just, when you get confused, you substitute the value of x. When you substitute even negative or positive value of x, you see that y is coming to be positive only, right? So this wala case you can just imagine, because like when axis, whether it is parallel to x-axis or y-axis, sometimes we get confused. So you can just substitute the value of x, and then you see what values of y you are getting, and based on that you can decide, right? So the x square term is in x na. So when the square term is only in x, so axis will be parallel to y-axis. When the square term is only in y but not in x, so the axis will be parallel to x-axis. Okay, so now let's move ahead. We need to calculate focus of this parabola, right? So we'll try to formulate in x minus h whole square. We'll try to formulate our equation in this format, and then we'll get the value of h and k, and then a also, h, k and a, and then from that we can calculate our focus, right? So given equation of the parabola is x square minus 8x plus 2y plus 7, right? So we will try to form it in what? X minus h whole square equal to 4a y minus k, right? So to make it in x minus h whole square form, what we'll have to do? We'll have to do this x square minus 2 times this 8 can be what? Factorized into 2 and 8, right? This 8 can be factorized into 2 and 8. So x square minus 2 times x times 4, and then we need for 4, this 4 is acting as what? H here. So for 4 to be like to make it in formula of x minus h whole square, what we'll do? We'll have to put here 4 square, that is 16, right? So we'll add ourselves 4 square here, and that term also we need to add on the right side to balance it, right? And rest of these two terms have been transposed on the right. 2y plus 7, so 2y plus 7 when transposed from left to the right, it will be minus 2y minus 7, right? So now this will form what? X minus 4 whole square. So x minus 4 square, 4 whole square is written here, and then we'll have minus 2y, and this 7 minus 7 plus 4 square, so we'll have what? Plus 9. And when you take minus 2 common, because y needs to be independent term, right? So when you take minus 2 common, you will have what? That minus 2 times y minus 9 by 2. We Why we did this? Why you took minus 2 common? Because we wanted to make y just independent. There should not be any coefficient in y, so that should look like independent, right? Now x minus 4 whole square is equal to, we have to make in this format. So to make in this format, we'll have to write for ourselves and then see how we can balance it, because the value of a will get balanced accordingly, right? So x minus 4 whole square equal to 4 times, and then we'll have what? We had only minus 2 here. So when you are writing 4 here, so you have like 2, but we have to divide by 2 to just make it keep it balanced, right? So we'll have the value of a as minus 1 by 2, then y minus 9 by 2. So comparing this with the above equation, what we'll have value of h, we'll have value of h and k as 4 comma, this is the value of h, and this is the value of k, right? And this is the value of what? A. So h comma a k equal to 4 comma 9 by 2, and a equal to minus 1 by 2. So we have the formula for focus is h comma k plus 1. You already saw in that graph na, that focus will be in this case when the graph is like when we have the vertex at hk, when and axis is parallel to y axis, then we'll have to add the value of a to coordinate to get the value of focus. So in this case, the focus is negative. That means our graph should be like what? Concave downward. So when I'll have to show this specific graph on this uh, coordinate system, so in this case our focus is at 4 9, right? So our vertex is at 4 9. So vertex 4 1 2 3 4 4 9 by 2, right? So 4 9 by 2, 9 by 2 means what? 4.5. So somewhere here we have vertex, and our we'll have vertex, and then sorry, here, and then we can see that something like that, like this should be right. So this is a bit like just shifted, but anyway you should understand that this is the vertex, right? Vertex, and here our focus will come, right? Because a value of a is negative na, so when you the vertex coordinate is hk, right? Hk. So when you subtract and this, add a to k, that is hk plus a, but k a here has negative value, so of course k plus 1 will be what? Below this point, right? So in that way you can understand that the graph is concave downward, right? So of course you just remember that when the axis is parallel to y-axis, principal axis of, this axis of this parabola, so the the vertex coordinate is hk, then the this focus coordinate will be what? H comma k plus a, and based on the value of a, that is whether it is negative or positive, it will be like below or above the vertex. So that's not a issue. Just to make you clear everything, I just drew this graph, because sometimes there can be a questions, this graph is concave upward, concave downward, or turn towards like concave towards right side, concave towards left side. So in that case also you can just answer this question, or you should be able to answer this question, right? So when you solve this, 9 by 2 minus 1 by 2, that is 4.5 minus zero point 0.5, right? So that is 4. So we'll have value of h comma k plus a is 4 comma 4. So which is in option C. I hope it should be clear to everyone. This 4 comma 4 is in option what? C. So option C is our answer, right answer, right? So now we are done with question 2 also. Let's move ahead to question number 3. In case if you have any doubt, just comment in the comment box. We will answer you. We'll try to answer your queries. Okay. So this is question number 3 for today. So just read it once. If 4 sin inverse x plus cos inverse x equal to pi, then x is equal to. So here you can play with options also, right? But let me solve it, then we can play. So for this, just recall that sine inverse x plus cos inverse x is what? Pi by 2. This is in terms of radian, right? This is in terms of radius, and in terms of degree, sine inverse x plus cos inverse x equal to 90 degree. So this you should be able to recall. uh, so our given statement was 4 sine x plus cos x, 4 sine inverse x plus cos inverse x equal to pi, right? So when we will just this break down 4 sine inverse x into this 3 sine inverse x plus sine inverse x, we can write, right? So just to like make use of this formula, we'll break it. So 3 sine inverse x plus sine inverse x plus cos inverse x as it is equal to pi. So from this relation we can easily write that, we can easily write this, right? 3 sine inverse x plus pi by 2, because sine inverse x plus cos inverse x is pi by 2. So we'll write the value and then equal to pi. So 3 sine, now when you transpose this pi by 2 to the right, it will get subtracted from pi, and then we'll have what? 3 sine inverse x is equal to pi by 2, pi by 2. And then you divide by 3, what you will get? Sine inverse x equal to pi by 6. And pi by 6 means, remember, don't just get confused. Sometimes we get confused. Pi by 6 means 60 degree, and we just uh, think that answer will be this, but that will be wrong, right? That will be wrong. So even sometime I also get confused. Pi by 6 means 60 degree. So better to make it in angle, in terms of degree, and then you can easily recall, because in radian sometimes we just get confused between pi by 6 and pi by 3, because 6 sometimes 6 just makes us illusion of 60 degree, and 3 makes illusion of 30 degree. So many times I got confused. So for that only I just converted it into degree, and then you can proceed, right? So x will be what? Sine 30 degree, and sine 30 degree value is 1 by 2, or even sine pi by 6 value is what? 1 by 2. So which is the option? Option B, right? So this is what we got from detailed solving. But you can even substitute the value of x and then see whichever is satisfying. That will be our answer, right? So like, put 0, the value of x we have to calculate now. Put 0 from the options, because we can make use of these options now we are given. So when you substitute 0 now, what will you get? When you substitute value of x as 0, what will you get? 4 sine inverse 0 is 0 itself, right? 4 times 0 plus cos inverse 0 is what? Cos inverse 0 is pi by 2, right? So this will be equal to what? Pi by 2. But our right side is what? Pi. So this cannot be your answer, right? Now again, when you substitute value of x as 1 by 2, x as 1 by 2, when you substitute value of x as 1 by 2, what will you get? Sine inverse, we have 4 sine inverse, na? 4 sine inverse, when you put the value of x 1 by 2, 4 sine inverse 1 by 2. 4 sine inverse 1 by 2 means what? It should be pi by 6, right? That is 30 degree. So generally degree is not written in these calculations, because this number is 4 is in radian. So it should, this angle should also this angle you should also write in radian only, right? So 30 degree, 1 by 2 value is 30 degree. So in terms of radian, it will be what? Pi by 6 plus cos inverse 1 by 2 is how much? Cos inverse 1 by 2 is pi by 3, that is 60 degree, right? So when you see these two, this will be getting cancelled. So 3 is the LCM below, right? And we have 2 pi plus pi, that is 3 pi by 3, that is pi, right? So this is satisfying. And when in case of MCQ exam, na, you will have only one right answer if it is multiple choice question, not MSQ. There becomes MSQ and MCQ, right? So in MSQ there can be multiple right answers, that is multiple select type questions, right? When we have multiple choice questions, na, you'll have choice multiple, but right answer will be only one. So in that case, even if you are getting one satisfied answer and there is no option in any of the options, all of the above or both of the above, you can just tick it, na. You can just tick it. I mean, you can just select that answer and just move to next question, right? Because if there are no options like all of the above, both of the above, or both A and B, both B and C, something like that, and if you are getting any one of the answer you tried and that is satisfying, that should be your answer, if the question is right, or all like option is given properly, right? So that way you can move, and you can also try with other options. Okay, so I'm just leaving this to you as your task. You can just do it as exercise. But yeah, of course, if you do it in this all detailed way, you can get that way also, or you can just plug and play with options. Just substitute the value of x from the options, because of course one of the four will be a value of x. So in that way also, whichever is satisfying, You just do it. And again, when you are substituting, now you are trying to reject, right? So trying to reject means try with the, I mean, easiest value, because substituting value of 1 by 2 or root 3 by 2 will be a bit like difficult now for me at least, or 1 by root 2. So better to substitute value of x first, right? I mean 0 first. So in that way you can just either you get to select 0 or reject 0, right? So in entrance exam, rejecting is also a type of like a method of solving your questions. So you should just focus that way also. Okay, so let's move ahead to our next question and last question for today. So it is from determinant, right? So if people have already studied determinant in mathematics, so just read these questions once and then we'll move to solution. So we have this determinant and we are asked to calculate its value. So in entrance exam, remember that in most of the cases, it's not necessary that your value will always be 0, but in entrance exam, most of the times the determinants value are given in such a way that it like when calculated gives the result 0. So don't just, whenever in case you need to make a guess now, you don't have time and you have to make guess. Mostly if you are putting your guess as 0, so in that case the probability is that you are like probably going to get mark, I mean you are choosing the right option. But yeah, I would suggest you to solve it. But in case if you have less time and you are making guess, I have seen that compared to other numbers or other values, zeros are like more likely to be given as the answer, or like such questions are given. So here also after the calculation we have found that the option B is correct, that is having 0 value. So what we have done is we have applied these all things concept from our determinant chapter. So when we are applying that, column 3 changes to what? Column 3 minus column 1, and also column 2 changes to what? Column 2 minus column 1. So we, when we apply this now, what we'll get from column 3, what we'll have to do? From column 3 we'll have to subtract column 1, right? This is C1, this is C2, this is C3. So from C3 you have to subtract C1, and that will be our new C3, right? So when you subtract now a plus when you subtract a plus b from a plus 3b, what will be left out with? 2b, right? So here we have 2b. Again, when you subtract a plus 2b from a plus 4b, what will be left out with? 2b. Again, when you subtract a plus 4b from a plus 6b, what will be left out with? 2b. So this column 3, we can see that all of these values are 2b, 2b, 2b itself, right? Again, similarly you can do for column 2, that is C2 will be like now C2 minus C1. So there will be left with BBB, right? And now when you will take common 2 from C3, it will having like column 3 as BBB, and also we have already column 2 as BBB. So we can see that column C3 and column 2 are having equal value. So from rule of determinant, whenever there are two rows or two columns having equal values, it will be the value of determinant like will evaluate to what? 0. So 2 times of 0 is what? 0. So 0 is in option B, right? So, and again, yeah, in trans exam you don't need to write these all steps. You can just like think that you are applying this. You can write this applying keyword, like you don't need to write there, right? So you can write this rather, C3 changes to C3 minus C1 and C2 changes to this, and then you can just start with the this one, like I'll write in red color here what you'll have to do in entrance exam, or like even if you don't write also that's fine if you can do calculation in mind. So in entrance exam what you will write that C3 changes to C3 minus C1, but no one is going to ask, right? No one is going to write like why you did what you did. For your understanding, whenever you practice in exam, try to do less this rough work first. Like at the beginning, try to do as much as rough work you can do, but uh, with time now, with time you should be like able to reduce your rough work in order to save time. But yeah, just To save time, don't do wrong calculations, rather write more, but with time, like with more practice, you can just get used to with less rough works, and in that way you can save your time. So I'll in entrance exam, what you do is you write this one in case you'll have to write na. So I mean for your like understanding, so c3 changes to c3 minus c1 and c2 changes to this, then I'll directly write this this determinant, right? This will be, this column 1 is as it is, so column 1 you can write as it is, and then after this directly you can write this, right? So from this you don't need to write this line na. In entrance exam you don't need to write this exam, just understand that okay, I'll take two common from here, then and again from here only you just got your answer 0. So just this much of rough work and you got your answer, right? So in our theoretical exam you have to write this much, all this much, but in board exam, I mean in entrance exam, just you did this much rough work and you are like getting your answer. So in this way also, like this is also tips, trick to save like time, and in this way you will be able to attend more and more questions, because there are many students who are able to solve questions, who have like understanding of the questions, but because of the time issue, they are like not able to solve, or like they just like miss some questions. So try to practice more and more and get used to with less rough work and do calculations in mind. But yeah, at the very beginning, don't just always try with less rough work. Do as much as rough work you can, but with time, get used to with less rough work, and in that way you can save time. And even when you have like practiced more, and there are many calculation results you already remember, and you like just you can skip those calculations value. And like for example, if this question comes in your entrance exam, you will directly write 0 value na. You will even not do any of these calculations, you'll not do any of these calculations also, right? In entrance exam, when this same question comes, you don't need to do this also, because you have just recently practiced now, and you can just write 0. So but make sure in entrance exam don't just tick one answer you got, because there can be multiple answers. So read properly that whether there is options like all of the above, both A and B, both C and D, something like that. Okay, so I hope everything is clear up to now. We'll come soon with our uh, day 3 solution. If you have any queries or any like mistakes you find in these solutions, or any doubt you still have, you can just comment in the comment section. I will try to reply you. Okay, all the best. IO exam is coming soon, so have patience. Like don't panic, just practice more and more, and don't just practice hard questions at the very first read through the basics of a chapter, and then practice uh, easy questions, medium questions, then move to next chapter and do the same. Practice easy questions, first read the basics, practice easy questions, practice medium questions, and then move to next chapter. And in such way try to cover all the syllabus of all three subjects: physics, chemistry, and maths. And even like in case like if you have like English in your syllabus, so of course IOE has English also, so English also you should practice accordingly. And like more scoring subjects are like maths and physics and even chemistry. Of course English should also not be ignored, because that will also like uh, hamper in your ranking. And yeah, don't panic much, just try to solve more and more, and sometime also like just note the formulas, and like you can just revise those formulae, so that you can just before exam you can just go through it. And yeah, all the best to you all people. Practice more and more. We'll see you soon in our next class. Okay, thank you. Bye.